is the L2C Media Network, and this is the Sports Final with Steve Baxley, sponsored by the L2C Media Network and a few alternate sponsors like YouTube and a few others. I'm Harry Von Stuttgart, and here he is, the man who's going to have to talk to our promotional department after that lousy game we just saw. Steve Baxley. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to talk to those guys. It was already Game 7, but the best team won. We got to give the old guard a little credit. Boston Celtics, you deserve it. Applause, applause, applause. Now you're up against Miami for the Western Conference Championship and that golden ticket to the NBA Finals in a bubble. All that, and we got some baseball news. We got news everywhere else. After all, this is a sports cast. And a few other things we got to do. First of all, I want to say the best thing about being on at 11:30. You all want to know what the best thing is about being on 11:30? Is Fridays our lead-in is the fifth quarter on WLNS TV 6. Can we get a bangity bang bang from the bell? That's right. Audrey Dahlgren, the awesome one. Alex Sims, that blonde goddess. And Nick Mantis, the man, the myth. And if he still kept that beard, he would still look like Jim Rome. If you haven't seen it, if you're on his Twitter page, he had a picture of himself in days of yore from, I do believe it was San Diego or Les Giants, the San Francisco, one of the two Sands. I know there's a lot of sands in the hourglass. And with a light beard, he looked like Jim Rome. Waha! He looks better now. Okay. Anyway, how you doing, everybody? Steve the Baxman Baxley, still with the quarantine hairdo. And it's getting longer. Oh, boy. I can't wait to get the snips on this and get back to my nice, short little hairdo. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about. Let's do it, Pruitt. And no. We don't want to do that. We don't want to cause any more mistakes. There we go. With the aforementioned thing that I'm mad at our promotions department for. Boy. Well, it had to happen. But Evan will face the Miami Heat in the Western Conference Finals. We'll find out when they will actually play the Western Conference Finals, I think shortly, sometime this week, because TNT's got a big old mess on their hands. So get ready, because here we go. Now took the Boston Celtics, the original, and one and only. They defeated the Toronto Raptors 92-87 in a Game 7 of their Eastern Conference semifinal series, pushing Boston into Les Finales, where they will meet the Miami Heat. That's right. By the way, a little bon mot for everyone. Jason Tatum led the way for Boston, 29 points. Fred Van Vliet was really Vliet. He was Toronto's leading scorer at 20. The Celtics, as we said, will now face Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals in a matchup that looks vaguely familiar, but includes almost none of the faces from the previous playoff duels. Udonis Haslem is the only player on either roster to partake in the last Eastern Conference Final matchup between these two in 2012. Au revoir, LeBron and Paul Pierce. Hello, Tatum and Jimmy Butler. The Raptors, owners of the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference, head home on a very sad note. But they got to be happy with the season as a whole, projected by many to struggle even to reach the playoffs. Of course, this was BC19, otherwise known as before COVID-19. When they lost Kawhi Leonard to the Los Angeles Clippers. They came a few breaks short of the Eastern Conference Finals. They'll be back next season, but for now, the Celtics are the highest seed Eastern Conference team left in that wondrous thing known in the playoffs. That's right, 92-87, le score du final. And I tell you, they played hard. They played hard in this game. They knew they had to do it. But so there will be no raids downtown Toronto. But tell it like it is. Boston outplayed Toronto. And I think the reason is simple. They were more hungry. You realize, I think the last time Boston won a championship was, I think, about 4 or 5 years ago when they had Kevin Garnett. Many moons ago, I should say, when they had Kevin Garnett. So, that is a good question. Can we, okay, there we go, and this should tell the tale. And it was 2008. 2008 was the last time the Celtics won, so I wasn't off by much. Anyway, so we'll give you the scores and who are the hot hands on both teams in a few moments. Right now, let's get back to our news. And in college football, are they? Really? Are you sure? Yes, Big Ten football back in the headlines again. That's right, and the saga continues. One day after Ohio State coach Ryan Day praised the Big Ten's medical subcommittee for doing an excellent job of creating a safe pathway toward returning to play in mid-October, a Friday report suggested a presentation on the league's return to the field is in the works. The Big Ten's Return to Competition Task Force is preparing to outline a safe way, that's in quotes, safe way to return to play in the upcoming days, according to our friends over at Yahoo Sports. Should the league play be successful and the process goes smoothly, a return to play could be plausible by mid-October at the latest, according to a report from that 4-letter sports monolith. That's the latest development in the continuing story over if and when Big Ten football will be played this season. 3 of college football's Power 5 conferences are beginning their season in September amid the COVID-19 pandemic, but the Big Ten continues to generate just as many headlines as those playing as the leagues have been simmering with controversy since it initially canceled the fall season on August 11th. The conference has been sued, criticized by coaches, and become a target for players' parents and even El Presidente since that decision, but it's yet to release a plan for when it could begin play, which has become a source of frustration for many connected to the league as the ACC, Big 12, and SEC move forward with their seasons. Now, while league officials reportedly worked to formulate a plan for returning to the field, here's what we know so far about where things stand within the Big Ten. Now, the Big Ten canceled fall sports on August 11th with hopes of playing them in the spring. Commissioner Kevin Warren said at the time that it, quote, became abundantly clear that there was too much uncertainty regarding potential medical risks to allow our student athletes to compete this fall. The Pac 12 made a similar decision soon after. Now, why do the officials think it's unsafe? Well, it's simple concerns over the potential for myocarditis in the hearts of athletes who've had COVID 19 appear to be a hurdle in the league's return to play. Research from Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, published September 11th by the Journal of American Medical Association, found that 4 of 26 athletes who tested positive for COVID 19 had findings consistent with myocarditis. End quote. The study also found another 8 athletes with imaging results that suggested prior myocardial injury. Now, who made the decision? Well, it was unveiled that the league's president voted to cancel the fall season, but that assertion came under scrutiny. In the days following the league's decision, Penn State President Sandy Barbour said, quote, "It's unclear whether there was even a vote or not," end quote. So President Joan Gable referred to the decision as a, quote, deliberative process where we came to a decision together. Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Ultimately, documents revealed that the league presidents voted 11-3 in favor of canceling la season. Now, who was in favor of continuing? Who do you think? Nebraska, Iowa, and Ohio State voted to play in the fall, according to Dennis Dodd of CBS Sports. But the vote to cancel the fall season needed just a 60% majority or 9 votes in order to pass, and it did. And we were all doing a luau of sadness. The head muckety muck of the Big Ten released a letter on August 19th, 11 days after the cancellation of the season, stating that, quote, "The voice of the Big Ten Council of Presidents and Chancellors was overwhelmingly in support of postponing fall sports and will not be revisited," end quote. Now, several parents and players from the league protested outside the league's office in the Chicago suburbs on August 21st. We assure you, no anarchist or anyone from Antifa were there to muddle things up. Neutral sites. Hey, on August 26th, it was revealed that the league had begun inquiring about holding games for a potential winter season in multiple domed stadiums throughout the region. But that ain't all, Papaloopas. 8 Nebraska players filed a lawsuit against the league on August 27th in hopes of forcing the conference to reverse its decision to cancel the season. Well, word leaked out on August 28th that a Thanksgiving start is among the dates under consideration for the Big Ten football season, after it was initially expected that play wouldn't begin until 2021. Of course, the head man of the Big Ten spoke to the ultimate head man of the country, Donald Trump, on September 1st. Trump posted the following message to Twitter after the conversation. Quote, "Had a very productive conversation with Kevin Warren, commissioner of the Big Ten Conference, about immediately starting up Big Ten football. Would be good, great for everyone, players, fans, country, on the 1-yard line," end quote. Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh walked with players and their parents on September 5th in protest of the postponed season. Khaki ones said, quote, "We want to play as soon as we possibly can," end quote. Now, grandstanding from Harbaugh is to be expected, but Ryan Day, the Ohio State coach, day by day, who has just one full season of head coaching experience. We all know what happened there, don't we, kiddies? Mm-hmm. Got schmackered by who are they? LSU? Did they get LSU or Alabama? I think it was Alabama. No, it was LSU. We'll find out. Well, he joined the fray on September 10th, posted a message to social media saying that, quote, the communication of information from the Big Ten following the decision has been disappointing and often unclear, end quote. However, he also noted that, quote, we still have an opportunity to give our young men what they have worked so hard for, a chance to safely compete for a national championship this fall. Yeah. I wonder what happened to the last group of people that tried to do that. Oh, yeah. Ohio State lost to LSU. Now, will the CFP, that one wonderful college football playoff, are they going to wait for the Big Ten? Nope. The college football playoff is moving forward without the Big Ten or Pac-12. Its first rankings are scheduled to be released November 17th, and the 4 participants will be selected December 20th. And even if the Big Ten and Pac-12 scrambled to begin playing by Thanksgiving, that would still give them just 4 weeks of football before the selection show. It would be impractical to include a team from either league over teams from other conferences that are scheduled to have played over twice as many games by that point, which also means that, sorry, Coach Day, Ohio State not going to be in it. Now, hey, how about the Pac-12? Well, Pac-12 Commissioner Larry Scott has expressed that he would like for the Big Ten and Pac-12 to align their schedules. Doing so provides non-conference and postseason opportunities for both leagues. Allergy Willy Wobblers. And they do it, we'll find out. Speaking of that there college football, do we have scores? Well, rock-a-bye my baby on the Dixie Melody. Oh, we only had one game. That was done many a mooch ago. Miami of Florida defeated, as did Louisiana Tech and Baylor. But for those of you interested, here are the listings of the fun folk that'll be going. Let's start at noon. ESPN, that 4-lettered monolith. 23rd ranked Ohio State will take Iowa State. Thank you. 23rd ranked Iowa State takes on Louisiana. On the deuce, it is Charlotte or Charlotte, depending on where you're located, versus Appalachian State. On FS1, it's Eastern Kentucky versus West Virginia. On the AAC PM, Syracuse going up against number 18 North Kakalaki. On the Big Rock, Daddy Fox at noon Eastern Time, it's Arkansas State and Kansas State. On the Little Buddy, the Gilligan of Sports Networks, CBS Sports Network, 1:30 p.m., it is University of Louisville Monroe versus Army Salute. 2:30 p.m. on NBC, of course, number 10th ranked Notre Dame will take on Duke. On the U, at 3:30 p.m., it's Campbell versus Georgia Southern. Also at 3:30 p.m. on ABC, and as we know, they like to be called by their other name, ESPN on ABC. Georgia Tech and Florida State. On the deuce, it's the UTSA, otherwise known as the University of Texas San Antonio versus Texas State. 4 o'clock on ESPN's ACC network, Austin Peay taking on Pittsburgh. Okay, that's the afternoon. How about the evening rock and rollers? Well, here we are. 7 p.m. on the U. It's Citadel versus South Florida. Missouri State versus number 5 Oklahoma. Network to be determined. You can say probably Stadium. 7:30 p.m. on ESPN on ABC. It is numero uno Clemson going up against Wake Forest. 7:30 game on the deuce. It's Tulane versus South Alabama. 8 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN's ACC network. It's Western Kentucky versus Louisville. The 8 p.m. game, which has no network yet, but I have a feeling it'll be probably Stadium. University of Texas El Paso taking on number 14th ranked Texas. 8 p.m. 8 looks like a 9. On the plus, That's ESPN Plus. That's about $99 a month. It's the initial game. It's HBU versus TTU, otherwise known as Texas Tech, versus some team that obviously does not like to be picked on. So it's Texas Tech versus HBU. 10 o'clock on FS1. The final game of the evening is Coastal Carolina taking on the Kansas Jayhawks. That's on FS1. Of course, we mentioned Louisiana Tech and Baylor, SMU and TCU are postponed. And of course, Miami of Florida defeated UAB 31-14. And that's your college football week numero 12. And don't forget, the big old football show on Fox is now 2 hours long. 2 hours of Urban Meyer. Can any of us stand it? Anyway, that's NCAA football this weekend. Leave us to be happy. And of course, we got some good other things going on over the weekend we'll talk to you about in just moments. We do have a little baseball notation for you. The San Francisco Giants San Diego Padres game was postponed. That's right. Why? Because of a positive COVID-19 test within the Giants organization. MLB, let's get down there. MLB also announced its Saturday scheduled game between the two teams has also been postponed. Here is the full text. Lend me your ears. Following a positive test for COVID-19 in the San Francisco Giants organization, tonight and tomorrow's scheduled game between the Giants and the host San Diego Padres at Petco Park have been postponed out of abundance of caution and to allow for additional testing and contact tracing to be conducted. Major League Baseball will continue to provide updates as necessary. Where's Ben Casey when you need him? Or Benjamin Franklin Pierce. Now, while no official reason for the postponement was given immediately on Friday, the Padres soon after announced the positive test. The decision wasn't made until minutes before the first pitch was scheduled on Friday night. It is not known yet whether the positive test is a positive case is a Giant player. Now, both the Giants and Padres are presently in playoff position in the National League with less than, 3 weeks. So I'm just going to say it, less than 2 in this strawberry shortcake 60-game regular season. Earlier this season, the Marlins and Cardinals were forced to postpone several games because of COVID clusters within their respective orgs. Earlier this month, the A's were forced to postpone 4 games because of a positive test. Now, with that done, you think we got some scores? Yeah, we do. Would you like to see those scores? Okay, let's talk about the scores. Some games, everything is a final, so let's rock this puppy. Okay, the New York Yankees, and let us do a little checky poo. Yep. New York Yankees had first of a double dip, which means they did 7 innings. Strange, but true. Yankees beat the Orioles in game number 1, 6-0, 6-9-1 for the Yanks, 0-2-0 for the Orioles. Cole was your winner for the Yankees. He's 5-3. Cobb was a loser, 1-4 for the Orioles. Players of the game were Cole, the Yankee pitcher, went full 7 because they only played 7 innings. Gave up 2 hits, no earned runs, got 9 strikeouts and 1 walk in the deal. Gardner, the New York Yankees center fielder, went 2 for 2, 1 run, 1 homer, 2 RBIs. More final scores. You will love this. Phillies took care of the Marlins 11-0. 11-13-0 for the Phils, 0-3-1 for the Marlins. No, 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 la was a winner. 5-3 for the Phils. And Mr. Rogers was a loser. Can you say split the uprights 1-1? Nola, the Phillies pitcher, went 7 full, gave up 3 hits, no earned runs, got 10 strikeouts and no walks. McCutchen, the Phillies left fielder, got 3 out of 4, 2 runs, a homer, and 3 ribs with extra sauce, from what I hear. Yes, 12 innings this one went, and the World Series defending champ, Washington Nationals, Baby Shark, Baby Shark. I bet you when they play it, the Washington Nationals have been going 60 games. We don't need this song anymore. Well, they beat the Braves in 12, 8-7, 8-11-0 for the Nats, 7-14-0 for the Braves. We will, by the way, give you updated standings as well. Winning pitcher for the Nationals was Bork, 1-0. Dayton was a loser for the Braves. He's 2-1. Players of this game was Ozuna, Atlanta, designated hitter, 5 for 6, 1 run, 1 homer, 4 ribs with sauce. Soto, the Washington designated hitter, went 2 for 3, 2 runs, no homers, and 3 ribs. Very little sauce on them. All right, we continue our little hits from Maple Leaf. The New York Mets mollywopped and systematically disseminated without written consent from the commissioner of baseball the Toronto Blue Jays 18-1. 18-19-0 for the Mets, 1-5-2 for the Jays. DeGrom was your winner for the Mets. He's 4-1. Anderson took the loss on the Blue Jays very hard. 0-1 was his. And Ramirez for the Mets got his first save. Now, DeGrom, the Mets pitcher, went 6 full, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, 9 strikeouts he got, and 2 walks. And Ramos, the Mets catcher, went 3 for 5, which means 4 runs, 1 homer, and 4 ribs with the spiciest of sauce you can take. Another fun-filled scores. By the way, we're going to tell you where Major League Baseball decided to put the postseason games at. It should be fun. Tampa Bay Rays massacred the Boston Red Sox. There was no tea party, obviously. 11-1 was the final score. 11-12-1 for the Rays. 1-11-0 for the retreating Red Sox. Snell got the win. 4-1 for the Rays. Hall didn't make a deal for the Red Sox. He's 0-3. Players of the game: Snell, Tampa Bay pitcher, 5 1/3 innings pitched, gave up 5 hits, no earned runs, got 5 strikeouts and 2 walks. Lowe was very high up as a designated hitter. He went 3 for 4, 3 runs, 2 homers, and 4 ribs with that fun and tangy seafood sauce. Okay, I told you they played 2, and they did. Orioles, Yankees, and the Yankees blew apart the Orioles and feasted upon the carcass. 10-1, 10-10-1 for the Yanks and 1-4-0 for the Orioles. Tanaka was the winner. He split the uprights twice. They were very nice, 2-2. Aiken was really Aiken, a breaking heart, 0-1. Tanaka, the New York pitcher, pitched a solid 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts, no walks, and Voit, first baseman for the Yanks, went 3 for 4, 3 runs, 2 homers, and 6 ribs with extra sauce. Kansas City, here you come. You beat the Pirates royally, I might add. Royals beat the Pirates 4-3, 4-7-0 for the Royals, 3-7-0 for the Pirates. Bubik. Oh, Booby, you got the win. Finally. You hit it right. 1-5 is your record. And Brault, well, maybe next time. You're 0-3. And Holland wore his wooden shoes and did some clomping. Got to save his 4th. Bubik, Kansas City pitcher, pitched 5 full, gave up 6 hits, 1 error, 1 earned run. 6 strikeouts he got and 2 walks. Mondesi, Kansas City shortstop, 1 for 2, 3 runs, a homer, and a rib. No sauce. The Oakland Athletics took care of the Texas Rangers by a score of 10-6, 10-12-0 for the Athletics, 6-8-2 for the Rangers. Flyers gets the job done for the Athletics. He's 5-2. Garcia, well, he'll have to try again. He's 0-2. Flyers, one of the players of the game, the Oakland pitcher, pitched 6 full, gave up 6 hits, 4 earned runs, got 5 strikeouts and 2 walks, while Olsen took some Folgers coffee. The Oakland first baseman went 2 for 5, 1 run, 1 homer, and 5 ribs with that wonderful Golden Gate sauce that your mama would love. The Brewers beat up the Cubs. It was a simple game and a simple number, 1-0. 1-4-1 for the Brews, 0-2-1 for the Cubs. Hader, or is it Hatter? I think it's Hader. Split the uprights for the win for the Brews. He's 1 for 1. And Wick, well, maybe he should try again. 0-1 for the Cubs. Woodruff, the Milwaukee pitcher, pitched a pretty good 7 innings, gave up 1 hit, no earned runs, got 12 strikeouts and no walks. Lester for Chicago, the pitcher pitched 6 full, gave up 3 hits, no earned runs, got 8 strikeouts and 2 walks. The Minnesota Twins, they defeated the Cleveland. We're not mentioning their last name again. Why? Because they're going to be changing their name too. So why bother, you say? Twins beat the Cleveland 3-1, 3-5-0 for the Twins, 1-6-0 for Cleveland. Maeda got the win. Either way, he won. 5-1's his record. Bieber, sorry, it's not Justin, but he was a loser, 7-1. And another Mr. Rogers, can you say a save? I knew you could. My 9th. Maeda, Minnesota pitcher, 7 innings, 4 hits he gave away. No earned runs did he give. He got 7 strikeouts and 2 walks. Bieber, Cleveland pitcher, 7 innings, 5 hits he gave up, 3 earned runs he gave up, 8 strikes he got, and 2 walks. The Tigers, they had the lead. Give them a yay, folk. Give them a yay. They had a lead against the White Sox. But sadly, like most things in this world, the Sox came back and won. 4-3, the final score, 4-3-1 for the Sox, 3-5-0 for the Los Tigres. Marshall got the win for the White Sox. He's 2-1. Cisnero, well, he tried his best, 2-3 for the loss. And Colomb got his 10th save. Mize for Detroit, the pitcher, did pretty good. 5-1 third innings, gave up a hit, 2 earned runs, got 5 strikeouts, 2 walk. Colomb, the Chicago White Sox pitcher, pitched only 1 inning. Gee, I wonder what inning that was. No hit, no earned run, 1 strikeout, and no walks. The Cincinnati Reds defeated the San Luis Cardinals 3-1, 3-8-0 for the Reds, 1-2-0 for the Cards. Castillo got the win. He's 2-5. And Wainwright got the brunt of the loss by the Cardinals. He's 4-1. Castillo, the Cincinnati pitcher, went the full course din. And he even paid the check. That's right. 9 full innings. Gave up only 2 hits, 1 earned run, got 6 strikeouts, 3 walks, and a partridge in a pear tree. Meanwhile, Voto, Cincinnati first baseman, went 1 for 3, 1 run, 1 homer, and 2 ribs. Marlins beat the Phils 5-3, 5-10-0 for the Marlins, 3-11-0 for the Phils. Hoyt got the win for the Marlins. He's 2-0, and Suarez got Bupkis. He went 0-1 for the Phils, and Garcia got the big one, his first save for the Marlins. In fact, Garcia, the Miami pitcher, Did so good. He's one of the players of the game. 1 full inning, gave up 2 hits, 1 earned run, got 2 strikeouts and no walks. Parker, the Philadelphia pitcher, went 2 innings, gave up no hits, no earned runs, got 3 strikeouts and no walks. Rockies defeated the California Angels. I'm not going to say their real name because I'm a traditionalist and I prefer California Angels. I don't say their little name. The California Angels of Anaheim. It's just California Angels for me. Anyway, Rockies beat them 8-4. 8-11-1 for the Rocks. 4-8-0 for the Angels. Bard got the win for the Rocks. He's 3-2. Buttrey got the loss for the Angels. He's 1-3. Marquez, Colorado pitcher, pitched 7 full innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 earned runs, got 5 strikeouts and a walk. Blackmon, the Colorado right fielder, went 2 for 4. 1 run, 1 hit, 5 ribs, no sauce. And the Diamondbacks beat up on the Mariners by a score of 4-3, 4-7-1 for the DBs, 3-3-0 for the Mariners. Young got the win for the DBs. He's 2-3, and Kikuchi got the loss. He's 2-3 for the Mariners, and Creighton gets the first save for the Diamondbacks. Young for Arizona, the pitcher, 5 1/3 innings, 2 hits he gave up, 2 earned runs he gave up. He did get a strikeout and 2 walks. Moore, well, he did less for Seattle. Left fielder went 1 for 4, got a run, got a homer, and got a rib. And, of course, Giants-Padres postponed tonight and tomorrow night, and that is your baseball scoreboard for tonight, the kiddies and cadets. We got to do more headlines, and we do so with a turnip and full respect. Those on staff. Okay, college basketball. Oh, do we have some news for you? College basketball. Do we have that? Yes, we do. Goody. We got some news on college basketball. Would you guys like to hear that? Oh, great. We're going to hear it either way. And it looks like the win in the men's basketball. Hi there. Would you like for us to thank you? Women and men's oversight committees convened again on Friday and decided to change the proposed start date for the 2020-2021 season from November 25th up to November 21st, sources told our friends at CBS Sports. And the news was first reported by Stadium's Jeff Goodman. The 2-hour meeting focused in large part around upping the start date to accommodate multi-team events, MTEs, which had been a driving force the past week, plus for reconsidering November 25th, a date oversight committees agreed to during their September 1st meeting. November 23rd had also been pushed by some recently, according to numerous sources, as it's the most populated date on the calendar wherein MTEs are scheduled to tip off. One source indicated that November 21st added a couple more MTEs to the pile. On Friday, put into the Oversight Committee's proposal package to the Division I Council, which is the governing body that will meet September 16th and ultimately decide whether to accept multiple recommendations surrounding the start of the 2020-2021 college basketball season. The committees also agreed on Friday to reduce the maximum liable regular season games for this season, normally 31, but now to be targeted at 28 if a team plays in an MTE or 26 if it does not. The minimum allowable number of games for postseason consideration is targeted for 13. A number NC2A Senior Vice President of Basketball Dan Gavitt lobbied out as a possibility Thursday on the Courtside with Dakish and Greenberg podcast. Thank you. We have to ring the bell for cheap plugs. And believe me, that's about as cheap as it gets. The stipulation for 13 games, according to one source, is all 13 games must be against Division I competition. Now, the committees also will make a recommendation, but not an outright requirement, that teams play at least 4 non-conference games if circumstances reasonably allow for it. This was not a universally agreed to recommendation, but will be part of the proposal nonetheless. The thinking here is to encourage every league to seek to play non-conference games in an effort to help with college basketball metrics and eventual NC2A tournament selection. A separate source added that powerful programs have been consistently lobbying behind the scenes to allow for as many non-conference games as possible in an effort to normalize the regular season and also provide small schools chance for more games in an unpredictable schedule climate. Now, as for crucial COVID-19 testing, the recommended protocol for NC2A Division I basketball is expected to require testing at least 3 times per week. There is one potential downside to starting on November 21st. By starting on a Saturday, a football weekend would easily overshadow college hoops start. That would not have been as much the case on Monday, November 23rd, and certainly not on Wednesday, November 25th. Now, there is no assurance college basketball season can begin in late November, but optimism still runs high. That's right, that the sport, that such a goal in a sport like this is achievable, especially as news updates nearly each week with improvements in testing capabilities. There you go. That's that part of the story. Now, I did tell you we would give you a little looky-loo at just where the playoffs were going to be in this quantified quantidello of a 60 games season to which we are into now. So, would you like to know what they are? Would you? Truly? Would you? Okay, we got you. We got you. We got you covered on this. Trust us, we do. In fact, here it is. See, I told you we'd have you covered, and we do. It's 12:43. We're not ending until I'm going to say 1:15. That's when we'll end. Then I got to go put the trash out because tomorrow is the trash day because I didn't realize we had a holiday. But Major League Baseball was reportedly planning to operate 2 separate bubbles, and we're going to hold that report there because the owner of this little bungalow wants to say something publicly live on our airwaves. Speak now, O gentle warrior. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay. May I now return to? Thank you. As we were saying, not long ago, Major League Baseball was reportedly planning to operate 2 separate bubbles for the latter rounds of the expanded 2020 season. Now, Jeff Pazin of ESPN expands upon Ken Rosenthal's original report and names specific locations. And here are those reported bubble locales. For the National League divisions will be Globe Life Field in Arlington and Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. For the American League Division Series, Petco Park in San Diego and Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. For the National League Championship Series, Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. For the American League Championship Series, Petco Park in San Diego. And for the World Series, it shall be at the Globe Life Field in Arlington, Tejas. They're too what? Tasty, delicious? No, they're fresh. Thank you. As expected, the World Series will be held in the Rangers' new ballpark, and the bubbles are such that no team will play at home after the first round. And I'll just sit you right over here. Okay. John's story also includes tentative start dates for those latter round series. Now, the plan is still subject to approval by the Players Association. There will be negotiations on how to strike a balance between protocols designed to limit the risk of a COVID-19 outbreak and players deserve some sense of normality in the bubble. Of course, as we all say, define normal. During the regular season thus far, numerous games have been postponed because of one or more positive COVID-19 tests on 4 separate teams. The nightmare scenario, you can complete that last word, during the playoffs. The bubble plan, despite the logistical challenges and inconveniences, is of course designated to limit that risk and allow a conclusion to the 2020 season. By the way, if you notice, like with our Tigers, the team was indeed in Chicago, but if I'm not mistaken, the Tiger TV folks, they were in their Fox Sports studios in Detroit, the Sam Bernstein studios. I don't know if the radio guys went with the Tigers or they were decided to bring that up to you. Okay. National Hockey League. Would you like to know the National Hockey League? I'm glad. I'm glad we have this time. By the way, I'd like to remind you, join us Saturday night, SATURDAY, Noche. After, of course, I do believe it will be the I'm going to say we got a hockey game tomorrow. But we'll find out, give you the exact time that we're going to be on the air Saturday night. Because that's when the rabbi will come to expound on his predictions for the first Sunday of the National Football League. But right now, let's give you the El Grande score of last night's big old hockey game. And it was simply thus. The Islanders beat the Lightning 5-3 to hold off on the celebration, because if they would have lost, Tampa Bay would have had a 3-0 lead. Now, it's just a 2-1 lead. And let's go right straight down to the 3 stars, and they are Nelson for the Islanders, Sergachev for the Tampa Bay folk, and Bouvier for the Islanders. Those were your 3. Those are your Molson Cup 3 stars. There you go. On his as a guest, and they're going to be talking about, well, whatever they do on Fridays. It's Lost Blaming the Interwebs, and it's 49 minutes already into it. So come aboard the love boat of joy and happiness on the Ricada Law channel, only on YouTube. Okay? Good night. Good night. Good nip, good nap, good noop. Okay, so it is a 2-1 lead in both cases. Game 4 of the Stars and Golden Knights, 8 p.m. Eastern, French Canada, French Canadian, 8 p.m. So we'll be on, I think, we'll be on about 11:30. 7th game, or do they have a 7th, or did we scoop low on that one? Let's find out, shall we? And by the way, good idea. Okay, by the way, Nuggets beat the Clippers 111-105. Take 3-2 lead in their series. Murray for Denver, 26 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Leonard for the Clips, 36 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Celtics eliminated the Raptors 92-87. Boston wins that series 4-3.
I picked up the stuff that he knocked off.
That she knocked off.
She knocked off.
Thank you.
I picked it up off your room. Plus, I got as much of the crap that she knocked over.
Thank you.
Picked up.
Thank you. Tatum, 29 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. Van Vliet, 20 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists for Toronto. Let us give you the complete schedule. Find out about tomorrow. Tomorrow. Come on, give us tomorrow. Yes, give us tomorrow, you sadist. All right. Tomorrow. Here, Lakers one. Tomorrow night, the Lakers take on the Rockets. That'll be Saturday night, p.m. Eastern. Clippers will take on the Nuggets on 3-2. So games will be Sunday, September 13th. Time and network to be determined. So there you go, kids. And by the way, Lakers and Rockets, if, as they say, the Lakers come out and Wednesday night, AEW will air at the regular time. So there you go. So Saturday on ESPN. So come on, Rockets, let's make a game out of this. At least until Monday. We're going to have Champions League 2020 here, guys, because they start in September. Okay. Let's go to Premier League, actually. Okay, kids, and for those of you interested in knowledge of fun, thrills, and excitement, before we hit to the scoreboard, let's give you what's coming up. Well, what's coming up tonight, as a matter of factos. Right. Let's give you week 1 action and excitement that you can see on some of the coolest of NBC sports outlets. And as soon as we get that lovely little thing set up, we'll let you know. Here it is. All right. Get ready, because go. Now, tomorrow, these games will be available for your pleasure. 7:30 a.m. it'll be Fulham versus Arsenal on NBCSN. Crystal Palace and Southampton will be on NBCSN. 12:30 p.m. it'll be Liverpool versus Leeds United on NBC, and the late afternoon tilt at 3 will be West Ham versus Newcastle United on Peacock. Saturday, September 13th, 9 a.m. Eastern, it'll be West Brom versus Leicester City on NBCSN. 11:30 a.m. Spurs versus Everton on the Peacock. Burnley versus Manchester United and Manchester City versus Aston Villa has been postponed to a later date due to European appearance. Monday, September 14th, 1 p.m. Eastern, Sheffield United versus Wolverhampton Wolves, NBCSN, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Brighton versus Chelsea on Peacock. And we'll give you the rest of all that coming up next week. So there you go. Your Saturday, Sunday, and Monday games of the Premier League. Yay. Aren't you happy we brought them to you? Yes, we are. So there you go. We're giving you the best right here. And as they say in the biz, it's time to rock and roll, baby. It's time to do a little rock and roll. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I know what I'm trying to do. There we go. Time for a little rock and roll, as we call it. That means it's time for a scoreboard. So let's go for it. It's scoreboard time. It's scoreboard time. Yay. Go for a little scoreboard, shall we? Shall we? Yes, we shall. Here we go. Scoreboard time. Let's give you a shout as to what has on the 11th of September 2020, a date we will never forget and always remember. 19 years. And we will always remember if. Okay. Let's get to the final laps and then we'll get to the final LARPs. LARP! Okay, now we've already done the baseball. We've already done the basketball. We've already done, well, the usual. But now we got to press on. By the way, everybody wonders why we don't do the high schools. Well, we're going to try to do some high school sports for you. There's a lot of them, but I think maybe we can do that. Little high school sports. We do MMA, so why not? Little high school football. Give some Michigan high school football games and some from other territories. We can only do so much with the time that we have here. So when we find a way we can do a ticker here, we'll give you the high school scores. And we're loading. Yeah, we're loading and we're loading and we're spicing it up. Yes, indeed. Yeah, we gave all the scores. Yeah, we'll almost go. Yeah, do the full loud here. Okay. Meanwhile, while we have this moment in time, it's while this thing is loading up, told you this was going to be one hell of a show to remember, and it is. We're going to check out, see if there's any new kicks on our good friends at Awful Announcing. See what they got for us here tonight as we continue to stall for time, as it were, while the scoreboard begins its descent to madness. Okay, and believe me, there's a descent to madness on that. By the way, Chiefs Texans averaged 20.3 million viewers, down from 22.7 million for 2019's NFL opener. Bellator MMA has decided that it is going to move to CBS Sports Network with its first 3 events airing Thursdays in October. So there you go. John Cena is going to be a very busy person. First, he hosts the Nickelodeon revival of Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Now he's going to host the bigger, badder, and ballsier revival of Wipeout alongside Nicole Byer and Camille Kosick. And well, let's give you whilst we're doing this. And it kind of looks like they're about ready to make one fateful change at FS1. Let's see. When now this was authored by Philip Bupp. When Mr. Bupp read about Skip Bayless's comments on Dak Prescott, I couldn't say I was surprised when the hot take artist, not a compliment, took on a clinical depression with the seriousness of most things discussed in that 2.5 hour worthless. Well, if you want to read about this, you can do so at Awful Announcing. But to tell it to you in a more bluntler version. If you remember the idiot that ran ESPN, opinions over sports news, and then Then, got canned by NBC before he took over for the Today Show. Then he got named Fox Sports 1's head monkey. And he almost destroyed Fox Sports 1. He dumped the sports news, mothballed the sports news department, and decided he was going to model FS1 into his own version of ESPN. Well, a question that has come on the minds of what occurred yesterday. There is a very small chance today was Skip's last day on FS1. His initial 4-year contract with Fox Sports is reported to be ending. No extension has been reported at this time. Undisputed's first episode aired this week 4 years ago. Perhaps his contract will end later in the month. Perhaps an extension has already been reached but not announced. Perhaps it's still being worked out and he will or has been working without one until it's finalized. But it's literally been crickets. Back in May, a Friday episode of Speak for Yourself ended with little fanfare. The following Monday, Jason Whitlock wasn't on the show. Hours later, it was reported Whitlock was no longer with Fox. His contract had ended. There was no send-off, no announcement on social media. The host didn't acknowledge on Monday that the longtime host of the program had moved on. This odd parting said president that big-name talent could just disappear into the ether from Fox at the end of any contract. That's not usually how large departures are handled, but of course this is FS1. Now there were whispers that Bayless was looking at other opportunities, including a return to ESPN, though going back to ESPN is what everyone in sports media uses for leverage, whether or not it's a real option. Smart money was on a new deal with Fox. The real question was how much Bayless and his agent would be able to wrangle from him. An especially difficult task during a pandemic that has financially kneecapped the networks. Bayless certainly didn't do himself any favors yesterday as he went beyond his usual shtick and launched what was probably the most reviled, toxic take from a Fox tenure full of them, especially on National Suicide Prevention Day. Bayless has said a lot of dumb things. It's always been a feature, not a bug, for both his career and for Fox. This time, though, he touched a major nerve. It wasn't his normal blend of contrarian, controversial trolling and stupidity. It was offensive, really offensive. It was now cleanup time for Bayless and Fox, which on the surface should have been impossible. Common decency, good PR, and Bayless committing to a sincere apology was a pretty clear path to this story disappearing over the weekend. But not this time. Pretty standard blueprint. Bayless would tweet an apology crafted by someone at Fox, if he couldn't bring himself to do it. Fox would issue some sort of meaningful apology and take some discipline, and maybe discipline talent have been suspended, or some discipline like suspending Bayless for this transgression. Or Bayless would go on today humbled and dive right into how his remarks were. A sincere apology, or at least one that would have looked and sounded like one, would have been nice. None of these things happened. Bayless didn't address any of it last night, instead tweeting about the Rockets and the Texans a total of 8 times. Fox did put out a statement, one that nobody at Fox put their name on, and one without an apology to Dak Prescott or viewers. And that left a lot of people waiting for Undisputed this morning to see how Skip would address the topic. Crickets. Nearly 90 minutes into the show, there wasn't one mention of the controversy. It was business as usual. The show jumping from topic to topic while avoiding the elephant in the room. People were shocked, but they shouldn't have been. This is, after all, FS1. Bayless finally teased something was indeed coming, but not until Undisputed made viewers sit through another 20 minutes of debate comparing Michael Jordan and Tom Brady. Well, This is FS1. And then, in a moment, somehow both surprising and unsurprising, Bayless didn't apologize. With the absolutely worst tone and body language, Bayless scraped the surface of the subject, never even got in a general vicinity of an apology. It was evident he was indignant at the idea. He even had to address controversy. No other sports network would have allowed such conversation about a major controversy to be so bankrupt, so insincere, and sandwiched by 90 minutes of normal, contrived fluff on both sides. But again, this is FS1. And what could have been a story that was beginning to fizzle out, now it seems like a permanent stain on Bayless and the larger Fox Sports brand. What will the future decide? Stay tuned and find out. Much like we hope you all do. Mark Silverman, the president of Fox Sports National Networks, inherited this culture and these standards from outgoing president, the Jamie Horowitz, who is now on some mystical land, and executive president and EVP of content, Charlie Dixon, who's still at the network and is most hands-on with FS1 studio programming, or lack of the standards and culture and the conflict it presents. The big rock Candy Mountain, Fox Sports, was touched on in a Ringer article in 2017 when Horowitz's tenure ended at Fox. 16 months ago, Silverman seemed to indicate FS1 was going to change for the better, like maybe reinstate sports news. That never happened. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and find out indeed what's going to happen. Will he be suspended? Will he apologize? Will we ever get a scoreboard? Or off the air shortly, open his mouth, put his foot in it. He should have apologized, or he should serve a little suspension. If I was running Fox Sports 1, if I was running both Fox Sports 1 and Fox Sports 2, well, you wouldn't have to worry about embracing debate. I would have it some other way for sports fans. I'll tell you that Saturday. Right now, we got our game clock up, so let's get going to Japan and some Japanese baseball. The Chiba Lotte Marines over the York Buffaloes, 2-0, 2-3-0 for the Marines, 0-1-2 for the Buffaloes. Nakamura for the Marines gets the win. He's 2-2. Yamakoa gets the loss. He's 0-3. The Silverhawks beat up on the Seibu Lions 4-2, 4-8-0 for the Hawks, 2-3-1 for the Lions. The Fukuoka Silverhawks. There we go. Moore gets the win. He's 2-1 for the Silverhawks, and Neal gets the loss for the Lions. He's 3-5. Hanshin Tigers over the Hiroshima Carp, 4-0, 4-7-0 for the Tigers, 0-4-1 for the Carp. Nishi for the Tigers gets the win. He's 6-3. Tokoda gets the loss. He's 1-5. The Rakuten Golden Eagles over the Nippon Ham Fighters, 5-4. This one went extra innings. 5-7-2 for the Golden Eagles, 4-9-1 for the Ham Fighters. Oyama, yeah. Rakuten Golden Eagles, 2-0. Tamai for Nippon Ham Fighters gets the loss. He's 4-3. Chunichi Dragons over the Yokohama Bay Stars, 3-2, 3-9-0 Dragons, 2-1 Bay Stars. Ino for the Bay Stars gets the loss. He's 5-4. Yanagi gets the win. He's 3-4. The Yomiuri Giants over the Yakut Swallows 2-1, 270 for the Giants, 160 for the Swallows. Togo for the Giants gets the win. He's 8-3. Suarez gets a loss for Yakut. He's 2-1. All right. Let's go now. Very short little breath. South Korea and the Korean Baseball Organization. SK Wyverns beat the Hanwha Eagles 4-3, 4-8-2 for the Wyverns, 3-6-1 for the Eagles. Kia Tigers and Doosan Bears were postponed due to rough weather. Kiwoom Heroes over the LG Twins, 8-2, 8-13-1 for the Heroes, 2-8-0 for the Twins. Lottie Giants over the Samsung Lions, 12-4, 12-14-2 for the Giants, 4-8-2 for the Lions. And the NC Dinos put away the KT Wiz Swan, 9-1, 9-13-0 for Dinos, 1-6-1 for Swan. And that is going to wrap it up for us. Big fast hello to my friends on Facebook, Twitter, and the Gram. And unfortunately for us, a big bye-bye as we have gone literally over our allotted time. We'll try to shorten things up tomorrow. We're on right after Wrestle Anime Hut. We go live to tape on Wrestle Anime Hut tomorrow night at about 11 o'clock, and at 11:30 we come on the air right here on youtube.com/Lugnut6. For now, that's it. We've been on for an hour and 14 minutes, about an hour 15 minutes, so we better get the heck out of here and get some Z's. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Until then, may your favorite sports team always be winners. Good night, America. Wherever and whomever you may be, this has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports on YouTube. Thanks, everybody, for watching. It's been fun. So much fun. We went wild. Good night, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. You deserve it. And I've clicked the words end stream, and apparently there we go. Thank you very much. Good night. Oh.